really, we don't have to worry about it because it was all just left-wing propagandist trauma actors. Or he's dating Pete Davidson now.
Gal Gadot, she said, what did she say? She told an Israeli outlet, Free Palestine.
Stop the work and fucking hold for everything.
Welcome to the Hold for Everything podcast. This is episode, what are we, 19? This is 19.
Nope.
20.
Are we at 20?
I thought we were at 19 last week, but maybe we're wrong.
Yeah,
No.
19 was last week, so it'd be
You're right.
20 this week.
Episode 20. We did it. 20 weeks, consecutive weeks. No gaps. We're killing it out here.
We've absolutely just nailed it with consistency.
Absolutely. And
Killing
if you're
it.
here, it's Monday, just like every other Monday. We're here. Thank you for spending your Monday with us. Your Monday afternoon with us, or depending on the country that you're in. If you're in Germany, I don't know the times over there, but I'm sure it's like 5 a.m. over there when you're listening to this.
All right.
Anyway, what have you guys been up? Jess, you've been working.
I've just been editing.
Okay.
What?
All right.
I've just been editing.
What have you been editing, Jess?
Something stupid that
They may or may not be watching this, Jess.
they don't know what I'm talking about. I edit for a lot of different people. Could be their
Okay.
project, could not be.
Okay, what is it? Is it a short film? Is it a feature? How much can you tell us without telling us too much?
I can't tell you anything because, like you said, they could be watching. So
They're not watching this shit, Jess.
keep it coy.
Keep it coy. All right. So Jess is very excited about the project that she's working on. Jake, you've been cutting some wood this week now?
Yeah.
Great.
Actually, we've been doing, and I don't like it too much, but we've been doing more metal work, and I don't like it. We're building chairs, like prop chairs, what the fuck would they call it? Like classroom desks, like those things.
Are you using heavy metal or soft metal?
No, it's just
Oh, that was a stupid joke.
I know. I was thinking about it before. I was like,
well, it's quarter inch, or no, I think it's just 1/8 inch tubing.
Like
and then
metal.
there's wood on part of it. Yeah.
this is still for Broadway or for
I
stage
have
shows?
no. Yeah. Well, this is for stage, but I don't know where it's going. Now that I think about it, I wasn't there like right when they started it, so I came in, and then it's just like, oh, we're building these, and I never even thought to ask like, what? Who for who? Like,
You're just working.
I'm just doing it. Yeah, just out here doing it, buddy.
You got to ask though sometimes.
Well, most of the time, if it's something that like I need to know about, they'll tell me. Or like when it's for like Disney Theater Group, I almost always know that, so I know for a fact this is not them.
I had a friend who said no to a job, and she took a different gig. And when she said no to an episode of Hot Ones for another gig that was like paying more or whatever, because like they're gonna continue to ask her to work on Hot Ones or whatever. So she was
Hot
like,
Ones pays good. I work for Hot Ones. Pay me $7.50 a day.
yeah. So she bounced on it to do something else, and then she found out that Megan Thee Stallion was the guest. And she was so pissed. So now every time they ask her, she's like, "Who is the guest?" Just to make sure that she doesn't get fucked over again.
Well, she didn't get fucked over. She chose
fucked
not to
herself
be
over,
there.
yeah.
Well, she didn't know until after the fact, because what happened was I was working Complex on another gig because they don't really have like PAs, or they don't really have a lot of people on the Hot One set. So I was on another Complex gig, and I was like, "Oh, who's the guest that they're recording right now?" And they were like, Megan Thee Stallion, and I was like, "Oh God!" So I texted her. I said, "You're gonna hate knowing that you're on set right now and not on Hot Ones. Also, Hot Ones, you're there for like 3 hours and then you go home. So you get paid good, and then you're home by fucking 2 p.m.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that was my thing too. I was in at 7 and I was out by like 3.
Almost all of my like best paying gigs like that are like that, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll give you like $350, $400 and you're going to be here for like half a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they I mean, also like the higher ups, they want, I mean, the complex show that I'm on is normally like a 10, 12-hour day, and the higher ups hate it because they're not used to that. Like all the other shows, like Snacked and Hot Ones and I don't know, whatever. Burger. Oh no. So Burger Show and Pizza Wars always kind of takes at least a 10-hour day. Sometimes it goes over, and the higher ups are always hanging around sometimes because they're like, why does it take so long? Why does Hot Ones take 2 seconds? Because there's fucking 2 people sitting at a table.
Yeah. And it's just like a one-on-one interview. So all you need is like to make sure lighting's good, to make sure you actually like have the food. And then
also there's
hair,
also
makeup.
And then it just runs through because well, at least mine did 3 cameras. So it was like just
there's multiple cameras. But for I think for Pizza Wars and for Snacked, I think there's only one. Nah, I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. It's yeah. Anyway, all right. Well,
what have you been doing, Eric?
dude, I've been sitting in this fucking house for a month. I am dying. It's over. It's over. See this nice background? It's gonna be gone by next month. I'm not gonna be here anymore. I'm gonna have to sell my body or something. And nobody's gonna buy. You know? That was that was a good joke. You guys, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to like Airbnb this place out just to make some money back this month because this shit is wild. But I'm gonna make some back next month because.
Well, didn't you say you're on a feature like all of February?
Yeah, and I'm doing Genie, so I'm getting a decent amount a day. So it'll kind of like make up for what I lost this month. But it's kind of annoying though because I was excited about getting paid a lot. But now that I have to like, I'm gonna have to save that so much in comparison to normal when I can kind of just throw a little bit of money away. It's annoying, but whatever. Anyway, dude, okay. I didn't get to watch it, but sorry. No. Well, I guess is Louie Anderson, there's a lot. I guess there's a lot that happened this week. Cause I was keeping up to date since our last episode so that we wouldn't be kind of lost, but
I feel like we're more lost this episode than the previous one.
Sorry. I think because we're all tired. Like, what was it? Like 8:00 at night that night?
Yeah.
Anyway, Louie Anderson passed away.
That was sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was he from outside of? I mean, he was a comedian. I'm trying to think what else I know him from. He was like, what's his main thing?
I don't know what his main thing was. I mean, he has been like a established comedian for like a long ass time. So I think he's been written out. Does he have like I'm wondering now if he has like a big lead role or if he's known much more for like.
He's known for Baskets, but I don't think I ever saw that.
He's in Coming to America.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he is much more known for his like support roles, like as an actor. But he was also a stand-up, like, and probably like a writer for shows. He's probably like a lot of his supporting roles are also attached with writing credits.
To be honest, when I found out he passed away, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize he was still alive. Because
he's not like incredibly famous. He's he's famous, but he's not like
he's got that face where you're like, oh shit, I know that guy, but I don't remember what he's from.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's all his repertoire is a lot more of his support roles are that he's like done more so than like how some actors get attached to like a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like he's done some voice acting too. I think I'm pretty sure I've heard his voice every now and then in some sort of like Adult Swim kind of episodes, Family Guy,
That
shit
would
like
make
that.
sense. That would make sense.
All right. Well, fuck Louie Anderson.
No.
What the fuck?
Oh, also, by the way,
Go ahead.
I saw this thing on the internet. I don't
Is
know
this
how
about Louie Anderson?
No. I don't know how true it is, but
Is it related to-
apparently, Mary Kate Olsen said about Bob Saget's death that it was the wrong cast member who died. By the way,
Why would she go to his funeral if that's actually what she said?
it was the wrong cast member
Eric, you
to
have
die.
to listen to the words.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait,
Well,
the
then why
wrong.
would she go to the fucking?
Well, I heard-
because she apparently liked him and thought it was a bad like.
Yeah.
There's apparently also someone on set that she would prefer died,
Yeah.
but
Sorry.
like apparently
I didn't-
Saget was a pretty nice guy.
So I would
I'm
like to
sure
there was a whole
retract
lot,
my
yeah.
statements.
And there was a whole lot of like in the past 2 weeks of different people all coming together, sharing like stories about how like, oh yeah, he's known as like this dirty comic, but like personally he's been wonderful to me, or like a lot of people who straight up were like, I might not have a career if it weren't for him, kind of ordeal.
Yeah.
There was I don't know. There's a podcast called The Legion of Skanks, and they were making fun of the comedian Nikki Glacier, who wrote a song for Bob Saget, and all of the comedians on the podcast wrote a song
For Nikki
for Bob
Glacier.
Saget. No. They wrote their own version, their own songs for Bob Saget. It was so hilarious. But one of them, Big J Okerson, some of his lyrics were, talking about how he wanted to sleep with teenagers or whatever. But he was also like, the joke was, I don't know how serious you were about sleeping with teenagers, but I really hope they're not true. But outside of that, I didn't really see anybody. Like, I didn't see anyone other than random ass people on TikTok that were annoyed at Bob Saget's existence.
I just knew about the Bob Saget shit for a long time. Like, it's just been a thing. So I just always was like, oh, so he's a creep.
Well, part of that, I think, because I've since seen a couple times, like part of it, like his routines that feature like those kind of like the cringy, or maybe it's just that his routines often place him as the character, as the person he's referring to. So like, he's not like talking about like other people doing shit. It's typically like, oh, I am the guy who's doing, like, I'm the person coming to you saying that like these kind of edgelordy, shocky kind of things.
Gotcha.
So instead of describing an event he's absent from, and I think that builds into like people start associating with that kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, let me retract my he's a piece of shit. But I did, to be fair, I did say nobody knows. So
yeah. I mean, I think this is a case where you won't ever find out if he actually did do anything, because but I mean, I don't think it's enough. I mean, we talked about it last week, but I don't think any of it is, I don't think it's true necessarily, or I don't think it's not Bill Cosby.
Yeah, if there was something rampant about like his behavior, I'm certain
it would have
that
came out already.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bill Cosby, I don't know if you guys. No, he's still alive, unfortunately.
Damn.
But there's a 4-part documentary about Bill Cosby coming out.
He's gay.
Coming out?
Yeah, he's coming out. Bill Cosby's gay. Clip it.
He's trying to do whatever that Kevin Spacey.
Yes, I still
I
think
understand I understand my behavior is shitty, but can't be mad at me. I'm gay, kind of thing.
That was maybe the greatest thing I've ever, still to this day. Kevin Spacey, you're accused by a million people. Yeah, well, I'm gay. So like, what? I don't know. Can I even
got to do with anything?
You can't get mad at a gay guy, and you're like, I don't know. Maybe he's kind of got a point. We can't get mad at him because he's gay. First, we have to like commend him for announcing that he's gay, and then we're like, wait a minute, don't try to confuse us. 4-part series. I think it's a lot of it's about how his characters were so beneficial to the Black community growing up, and how they're dealing with it now, and they're also they're also talking about how like even in some of the dialogue in the show, he sprinkles a little bit of truth of what's happening behind the scenes in his dialogue, like the episode where he's making his own sauce and how it puts people to sleep. And like, look, in hindsight, it's like, what the fuck is he? This is wild.
Why is he doing this if he's claimed he's innocent?
It's not his documentary.
Oh.
I don't know who I'm not sure if it's HBO.
It's investigatory kind of documentary, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit of they're gonna show off how influential the Cosby Show was, or how influential Cosby was to Black comedians and Black audiences, and how he was a father figure. And then they're gonna kind of hit you with, but he's also this fucking creep out.
Gotcha.
I still don't understand how he got released, but I think
technicalities. Basically, it is all very much because of how fast they wanted to make shit happen, like get in behind bars with all this stuff. They ended up doing like sloppy work, and so like because like didn't pay attention to detail and didn't pay it like those types of cases, especially as high profile as they are, they typically go on for a long time,
right? But
they wanted it to be like overdone. They messed it up. It's part of the reason why a lot of people think that Harvey Weinstein's also going to be released, because the same thing happened with him. It was like they tried to do it as fast as they fucking could, and there's a whole lot of like sloppy detail behind how he's in jail that are probably going to get overturned in a higher court.
You think they'd actually release him?
Yeah, I mean they would have to.
I mean, how old is he? He's a lot younger than Cosby. So I don't know how long, but he's also like decrepit now, right?
He's not, I don't think he's a lot younger than Cosby.
He's pulling the Durst thing where he shows up decrepit. He's not decrepit. He's fine.
But
he's trying to make people feel bad for him in court. Fucking coming with a fucking cane and shit.
I think it's a walker now, right?
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's still probably for the same reasons, but yeah. Then that's the thing is when you try to do shit like that super quick, we got Cosby and Weinstein. They terrible people. They were behind bars, but they're not going to stay there because they also still have a shit ton of money and a team of lawyers looking up every little detail about how to get them out of it. So like, just because the case is done, the whole idea of like Miranda rights and shit, like, but it's not that's not the technicalities you would get off of, but the concept of like, well, there's procedure to this. And if you don't follow procedure, it's like not a good trial.
I mean, how much of a jail is he actually in? Like,
probably not much of one, but it's still.
He's probably got a phone. He's probably got everything in there.
I don't know. It is what's likely to happen, seemingly, with cases that people demand expedient results from.
All right, so free Cosby.
Well, he's already been freed.
Free Weinstein.
Ew.
Too much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
They're making off topic. They're making I just read they're making a movie. They're making a narrative movie about the Capitol riots. The director of Don't Look Up. What's his name, Jess?
Adam McKay.
Okay. Thoughts on this? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? How do you even?
I think it'll be good, but I think it's gonna piss a lot of people off because he's very good at taking something real and making it a joke, but in a realistic way too. Like Don't Look Up, basically.
I guess if he does it in that way, I don't know, bro. It's like so old.
Well,
to just
here's
goof on these people. It's like
the thing. I think he could do is similar, which, like I think you said earlier, you didn't watch The Big Short, but in that there's not really like good guys. There's like a guy who notices a problem, and then the narrative follows around a bunch of people who are either trying actively to profit off of the issues or just are completely oblivious to it. Like it's not. So I don't think you need like heroes and stuff like that. I think you could tell a compelling story about, because a lot of the people who were involved were duped. They weren't like, there wasn't a grand military strategy behind most of the people, but you look at shit like the Oath Keepers and like Proud Boys and shit, a lot of them did go in with like the intention of doing some shit. It's like they showed up in military style, had like headsets and shit on, like giving like orders and stuff, like, oh, we're gonna assume this formation to get through the barricades and stuff like that. So there is, like, as much as the media that we get to see often is like the more extravagant people looking at like that fucking dude in the headdress and face paint and shit. He's plastered all over it. But there's so many people that straight up were part of militias and shit that were also actively storming it. And what I also don't see a lot, and this is now off topic of the movie, but I feel like I just always like to talk about it, is there was fucking pipe bombs to the east and west, I believe, of the Capitol.
I read that
were happening, that were like being investigated as the shit was going down. Like that's part of the reason why they had such a small police force present, is because it's the same police. That. Yeah, it's the same police. It's still Capitol Police. It was near enough that Capitol Police went to investigate.
And I would just like to say that that's a terrorist tactic to create a distraction.
Yeah, like
it totally is.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a lot of, but there's a lot of like narrative, like, oh, like especially in more conservative media, is like, oh, these people were barely anything more disturbing than tourists. But it's like, well, 4 people died, and a lot of cops that were like there have like blatant trauma on like the event.
Yeah. So like, and that's why I think this is going to piss a lot of people off, because it's going to be a comedy. There's no way it's not going to be a comedy.
I worry about the like people died on both sides. Like, I don't know how families of those people would feel about it. But
the thing is, people died with The Big Short too. Like a ton of people killed themselves because of what happened in 2008. Like it was a serious thing. And he did a great job on that movie, but Capitol Riots was kind of too soon. But I think it'll be a good movie, because he doesn't really miss.
I mean, too soon. If it comes out 3 years from now, we're going to look back at it like, LOL, remember that? People with masks? The fuck was that about?
They weren't wearing masks, Eric. That's why a lot of them were able to be identified.
Well, no, a lot of them went in with their guards, their little
their QAnon face masks,
their face guards. Yeah.
No, like it's amazing how, and like I said, because we're speculating about a movie that's probably not going to come out for another year at the quickest, because it's probably pre-production at this point, and then probably closer to 2 or 3. But there were so many people, like there was famous live streamers and stuff there. There was like so many people with their phones out, not masked up. Like obviously there's mad security cameras. It's like one of the most well filmed crimes in all of history. Like half of it has like 4K footage of all these people doing all this shit. And it's somehow, despite all of this, there's still like a moderately successful media narrative of like, oh, it was tame. It was like,
I mean, to be perfectly honest, like I don't know what I was doing that day or that week, but like I didn't see the big deal until, like a week and a half later, when everyone was like, bro, what the fuck went on over there? And then like people died and like all this other shit.
So you just didn't see the big deal of people being like, we don't like the results of the election. Well, no. We will invade the Capitol to make sure our guy, that Eric's just like a soft coup. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with a mob of people angry about like an election.
No, I understood that part, but like we had already seen a mob of people for like the 2 years prior to that. So I was like, okay, now another mob. That was, I know it's a completely different reason. I get it, but
also just protesting versus invading the fucking Capitol.
Like, and it's also what you're protesting versus what they're protesting. It's like, okay, your shit is an actual problem that the country is dealing with, and the other is something that doesn't exist.
But really, we don't have to worry about it, because it was all just left-wing propagandists, trauma actors, or whatever the fuck they.
Yeah, exactly.
Crisis actors
That's what
out
this
there.
podcast is. We're actually
We're all crisis actors.
we're not actually a podcast. We're just here to
We're
to
paid
make
by
this-
Joe Biden to
No,
talk
not-
about movies and occasionally
not Joe Biden. We're paid by what's the guy's name? What's the
oh yeah, I wrote a song about him and the Antifa bus.
who's the guy that they think is funding Black Lives Matter?
Let me see if that guy.
What?
Let me see if I can find. There's like one specific person.
Yeah.
It's an older Jewish man who survived the Holocaust, and he's also a billionaire. So it's not like he's
Yeah.
perfect. But
I'm sure he's not a great person.
yeah, but it's they've attached every problem to like, oh, this is funded by. I wish funded by who? I'm so close.
I haven't heard his name in so long that it's not. Please
Yeah.
figure it out.
Well, that's it. Now that it's
Now that it's in your head, just type in Black Lives Matter is funded by, and then it'll pop up on your thing.
Dude,
George
Adam McKay's
George
Soros.
Soros. Yeah.
Adam
Thank you.
McKay's killing it this year. He's got another movie coming out.
I didn't hear a lot of people that like Don't Look Up, so I guess he's killing it. In the
What?
sense
I've
of,
heard a ton of people like don't. I haven't heard anybody not like Don't Look Up.
I
I have
heard
a couple friends that said that they didn't like it, but I also a lot of the people that I've seen report that they don't like it, like in the news media, are also like the things that are being satired in the movie. So it's hard to be like, oh, maybe you guys might just be kind of upset that this movie's just like the media is kind of shitty and downplays very serious issues.
I mean, even my conservative friend liked that. And I was totally expecting him to not like it because of what it's about. And he was like, no, dude, that movie was insane.
he probably didn't understand anything.
He's a better filmmaker than you are.
Damn.
Well, Eric's not a filmmaker, so it's fine.
I just meant, has he seen Deadbeat and The Selfish Ones? Hello.
Playing in which film festivals?
The 2015.
He's doing, but Adam McKay's doing something on Apple TV called Bad Blood. It's about the Theranos lady. You know who that is?
Nope.
Yeah. Was it Elizabeth Smart?
Holmes.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Smart was the girl that got kidnapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
It's she like frauded everybody in the medical thing. I remember watching a ton of documentaries about that lady.
Yeah.
What did
Yeah,
she do?
it popped off a lot for her. What, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah. And she did like some medical company and she was a fraud. It was like a blood test thing.
For people with diabetes, I think.
Yeah.
And truthfully, and a lot of people, her trial just wrapped up and she's guilty on a few things, but they didn't find her guilty on everything. A lot of people are like confused. And the reasoning I've heard behind, because she didn't get convicted on like the most serious parts of it. And a lot of the reasoning that I've heard is like, well, the big reason is because it wasn't successful enough of a fraud. Like people did get hurt but it was such a selective amount of people in comparison to like the cases with like the opioid crisis.
Yeah. But she
That,
was a
like, it's
billionaire
hard.
though.
Oh yeah, she was she made money, but they're saying like it's harder to get those more serious charges when it's like, a smaller amount of people, which is fucked up. I'm not saying that's right, but that's the thing I've heard is like, yeah, just straight up, you didn't get like the big time jail sentences because it wasn't big enough for them.
Yeah. That's crazy. Jennifer Lawrence is playing her. What does she look like? Does she look like that?
I can picture with hair and makeup, Jennifer Lawrence doing pretty good with that
When did they
because
start
Oh,
filming
yeah.
that?
Oh, spot on. Actually,
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence they actually look really similar.
I was gonna say it's hard she's also vaguely blonde person, but yeah, I think I can't remember her exact face shape, but yeah, with hair and makeup, I feel that's a good cast
Did they
without looking it up.
They started filming already?
Yeah, I'm sorry
It's gonna
you didn't
come
get your
out.
casting call.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is pregnant.
Yeah, well, I think she was pregnant like all through. Like she got pregnant during the filming of Don't Look Up, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like the article I'm reading is it's about Bad Blood because Adam McKay did it and Jennifer Lawrence did it, and obviously Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
And they were asking if they were asking Adam McKay if she was going to be in the next one, and he was like, "Oh no, she's pregnant. I don't want to bother her."
She kind of disappeared for a while, right?
She did. She doesn't miss either, though. If you notice, all of her movies are really good, in my opinion. You could arguably Don't Look Up. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But
I heard Mother was pretty terrible.
Oh, Mother was bad. I forgot about that one.
There was a period, I think, where she did because she did like a whole career's worth of movies in like all the different genres over like a 4-year period, where it was like The Hunger Games, Silver Linings Playbook. Like it just kept fucking rolling. And so I think eventually part of her disappearing, it felt like she disappeared when really she just like adopted a more regular film schedule.
Yeah. Well, you are right, Jake. She did The Hunger Games, Silver Linings Playbook. She did other ones too. I just can't remember which ones. Oh, Serena. Because she did like all those movies with Bradley Cooper, American Hustle. And that was all within like a 2-year time span.
Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of like actors do, like you look at the Harry Potter trio, it's like they did Harry Potter and then like that's where she started, was like, oh yeah, it was not as long of a series, it was only a trilogy, but yeah, it's like, oh, nailed it, did that good like launching pad thing. I mean, a lot of people struggle after that though, when they're
is killing it afterwards.
Oh yeah, but he's also super selective, Daniel Radcliffe.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, because he can be. He's like he never has to work again, so he can pick any.
Oh, he's in something too recently, actually. By the way,
the last thing I saw him in was when he played a zombie.
No, he's. I just saw it like 2 days ago, trending or something. He's he's playing Weird Al
Yankovic.
That's what he's doing. I know who that is, but that's what he's playing.
He's the lead?
He's him, yes.
What?
We're gonna see if it works. I don't know.
Right. I mean, it probably will. It's probably gonna be amazing. But
you know what? I just love this weird trend that we're doing now, seemingly for a couple of years, of British actors playing American people.
Yeah.
American people, American characters. Like we just don't. We've started outsourcing our acting talent now too. It's like, Tom, you can do it. Andrew Garfield was able to do a convincing American accent. You can do one, right, Tom? You can do one, right, Daniel?
How is Tom's
Benedict Cumberbatch?
American
what about
accent?
you?
It's very good.
Yeah, Tom Holland actually does a really good job.
Does he?
Yeah. He fucks with people in interviews sometimes. He'll just go back and forth between his American accent and his.
I'm assuming you haven't seen like any of his Spider-Man movies then?
Nope.
Gotcha. No, he does pretty good.
I have not. I've only seen Toby's.
Damn, poor Toby. Poor Toby hates everybody. It's so funny.
Does he?
Yeah, there's always like, he's not like a fan of paparazzi or anything like that. Like,
yeah.
That's
not hating everyone. That's like a regular person's reaction to stalker behavior.
Yeah.
Well, no, but he's like not hates. He just he has created this this aura about him, at least online, that like he just doesn't want to be bothered in general. Like the fact that they brought him back as Spider-Man, like even then they're like they had to fucking pull teeth just to get him back. Not that he didn't want to do it, but like he just seems like he's got his Spider-Man money. He doesn't really need to be making movies. Like he just wants to be left alone, and he's not out in the limelight anymore. And he created that aura of just like this older man who just wants to just be alone and not be bothered. Yo, me and Jake are outside.
You're outside?
Yeah. Listen.
Oh, because you hear her barking. I don't know. I have the headphones on, so I don't even know what she's barking at.
Well, if we see anybody coming through your door, we'll let you know. It's
locked, and I'm sure she'll get them before they get to me. So
I think Shay would not do anything.
I think she would if she knew it was a threat. Like you guys, she knows, and I'm there, and I'm like, oh, it's fine.
But she doesn't even like trust when I like go to the
Get up.
bathroom.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. I don't know why Eric thinks she wouldn't do it.
Well, she doesn't do anything. She's just like, she just doesn't like it. She's
She
like,
just
when
yells at
I'm
us for
sitting
taking a
down,
piss.
when I'm sitting down, like at like the desk and stuff, she's perfectly fine. She likes it. But the instant I'm like, all right, I have to like go pick up a microphone or something.
Yeah.
She's like, no, fuck you. And everything you stand for.
She wants you to stay still.
Yeah.
She only does that with men too, and specific ones. Like she does it with you, Jake. She does it with two of my uncles.
She doesn't really do it with Eric too much.
No,
Yeah.
she loves me. I don't know why.
I think you're just not tall enough to be seen as a threat to her.
Yeah.
All
Well, you
right.
did have the long hair, so
I did. Wait, she loves people with long hair?
she might have confused you for a woman.
Damn. I still get confused for a woman.
Do you actually?
I
Your
mean,
haircut looks good now.
I mean, I have the hat on. It looks kind of wild. I'm just going to go get a haircut today just so I can be like, yo, can you cut it so that it grows out normally? Because it's growing out wild.
Well, if you want to grow it out, you have to get like regular haircuts to make sure it does that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't cut it in like a month. So now I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm going backwards if I get a haircut. But anyway,
Welcome to the Hold for Everything podcast where we talk about hair.
No, sorry. I was looking up the article because this was like the first thing I added on to the doc. Joss Whedon. He don't give a fuck.
I saw him trending for like 3 days, and I
He don't give a
I
shit.
couldn't be asked to look at it.
Okay, so we went over. I think this might have been like one of the last episodes that we did before our big break, but everyone pretty much bitched about Joss Whedon being an asshole. Gal Gadot came out. Ray Fisher said he was racist. Gal Gadot said he was. I don't know if she said he.
I think I remember a lot of the complaints being about how he's like a control freak and he's like super like just he's got that shitty boss attitude where it's like everything has to go this specific way, and yeah, if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna like fucking verbally assault you.
Right. So
but, yeah,
go ahead. No,
that was it. I was just saying that's a summary of I think the things that I remember the complaints by and large.
You were right. Ray Fisher said he was abusive and unprofessional. He said on set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. Then the eraser of people of color from what? He said the eraser. I don't know why. I don't know how to say that word, but
why am I not finding any good articles about it?
The lack of people of color from the 2017 theatrical version of Justice League was neither an accident nor coincidence. So he's basically saying that Whedon had a say in his lack of being in that movie. But I mean, so then Whedon. There's a lot here.
He called Ray Fisher a bad actor.
Yeah, we were going to get to his response after I went through all this shit, but
sorry,
yeah.
I just got shocked when I read this article.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Jason Momoa backed Fisher. He was
my husband.
I mean, he might be now. He broke.
I know. He got divorced. He can call me anytime he wants. Slide in the DMs.
He's dating Pete Davidson now.
Jake, that was a good one.
Fucking relentless.
Yeah,
Davidson's taking everyone's exes.
He's killing it. He's killing it. I haven't spoken to mine in 2 years. I'm sure he's got her too. Gal Gadot, she said, what did she say? She told an Israeli outlet, Free Palestine, kind of threatened my career and said if I did something, he would make my career miserable. I was shaking trees as soon as it happened.
I think that's probably like a translation phrase. If she told an Israeli an outlet, she's probably not like saying it in English.
And I must say that the heads of Warner Bros., they took care of it. Going back to the sense of righteousness that I have, I just did what I felt like I had to do, and it was to tell people that it's not okay. Anyway, all right. So Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, everyone pretty much hate this dude. Sorry, now I'm reading other stuff about Ezra Miller landing on her body sexually. But anyway, so your boy Joss Whedon basically responded the way that Jess said. He say that Ray Fisher is a bad actor. I'm not really sure what he said about everyone else, but I think from what I read outside of this article is that he said that all of them were unprofessional as a cast in general.
I'm reading something now, and his response, basically in a nutshell, it's just so weird. The weird part is because he's calling his mother sexy, like
Joss Whedon is calling his own mom sexy.
Yeah, he views his mother as difficult and sexy in his statement, is what it says. Like it's just quoted. It doesn't have a picture of the actual statement. But
why is that part of this statement?
That's what I don't get. That's why my face was like that. That's why I was like, what the fuck does this have to do with it?
They're just like, Joss, do you have anything to say? And he's just like, all those cast members are pieces of shit and my mom's hot. Like that's his response.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. Like his response is like they misunderstood him and they're out to get him. And then it's like randomly, it's like I viewed my mother as difficult and sexy. Like at the
all right. Maybe that's the wrong article. Anyway, so there's a New York piece says one woman described as a high-level member of the Buffy production team claims Whedon and an actress engaged in romantic activity in her office while she was working, prompting her to leave the production. They were rolling around on the floor making out, says the profile. The woman is quoted as saying, "They would bang into my chair. These actions proved no respect for me and my work." I think that was during the shooting of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I guess he's got a history of this, and then he denied it, and then I don't know. Whatever. Do you think Whedon's done? Do you think he's fine? I think he'll be fine. He just won't. I think he'll be fine too. This shit. Like nobody liked the movie anyway. Like he's gonna be super like he's gonna be super just like quiet. He's gonna be like a ghost person, like a Woody Allen ghost, or yeah, basically. He's gonna or they're gonna have him on things and just not say that he's on it.
This is just another example of the woke mob coming through and canceling a strong male voice.
We really need
woke left liberal.
we really need a conservative voice on this podcast, just to
exclusively for these moments,
just to argue. Yeah, I'm just gonna call all my conservative friends whenever we have these takes, so they could be like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You saying you wouldn't grab Gal Gadot's ass if it was right in front of you? Come on, bro."
And then we can slowly like ruin their lives, I guess. Having them recorded being like, yeah, I'd definitely fucking assault these women. Oh my God. I hope that's not like how your conservative friends talk, because my conservative friends don't talk like that.
Yeah, my conservative friends are not that bad, to be honest.
Most of my conservative friends are like libertarians, so most of the things that they're upset about seemingly are just like, God damn it, my taxes.
No, my conservative friends will send me, I think it was the day after the election, it was a video of this guy that said that Trump was smart and he put like invisible labels on the paper voting so that you can tell which ones are fake and which ones are real. And he said, bro, be on the lookout. It's now been 2 years since that happened.
I was about to say, so your friends are the conspiracy friends.
Yeah, I was just gonna say mine aren't the crazy ones. Mine are just like they, believe in gun rights and like fucking.
Dude, I believe in gun rights.
Better taxes and shit. Sure. No, so do I. But
I was gonna say it's really just like fucking corporate Dems that seem to be like gun rights are like on the pedestal for them, or it's also weirdly enough the branding that like the fucking Republican Party likes to throw out, even though like half of the country like
wants guns.
It's like not even like half, but like most of like you look at like states that like are like consistently like Democrat like controlled. There's still a bunch of people that are like, oh, I like my fucking guns. Like,
yeah, what's weird? I was just thinking about it. Is that most of my conservative friends are conservative because they're super patriotic. Like when you ask them. That's kind of their response. So it's interesting. Maybe people fucking just love think America, that, right?
Oh God.
This country's in the shitter.
Damn, we could have them on as guests, but then it becomes not a film podcast. It's just
is this country
The
in
thing
the
is, they're
shitter,
not-
or is this country the shitter?
It's the shitter. It is definitely the shitter. They're gonna give me shit for that one, but whatever. Ooh,
What you got?
you guys are harmonizing there.
What we said something?
Yeah, you were like at the same time.
I think something happened with Sean Penn, but this was like a week ago.
I can tell you what happened with Sean Penn. He tied up and beat his wife.
All right.
He also
Back
hates
in the 90s, baby.
he hates how the world is going. He's a dick though. He's a known asshole.
It's weird that but he's also like touted as like this fucking
super liberal, right?
Yeah, but like I guess similar to like Alec Baldwin's, like is a well-known history of being just a piece of shit. Like,
yeah.
But there's like a core group of people that are just like, but he fucking donates to UNICEF. Like,
so he said, we give too much of a shit about what we are going to be accused of by people who want to be self-righteous because they can get a quick reward. And they're self-righteous hypocritically. They damn this, but don't worry about why kids are being bombed in Yemen because it's not getting them into a club right away.
No, you can worry about kids being bombed in Yemen, and you can also say that Sean Penn is an asshole. Both things can totally be true at the same time.
I think that most people are concerned about both things. Like,
yeah,
it's really strange to be like, if you're only allowed to talk about one. It's like, no. A lot. It's just the things that you hear about people talking about that are like, they don't like the shit that you do or like that people do in your sphere.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the casual, like that's fucked up. All these people are also like really bitter about what the government does. It's just, you don't get tagged in that on Twitter. Like who's going to be like a bunch of anti-drone rhetoric. Make sure Sean Penn's tagged in this.
But also, it's like what? Obviously, everyone is anti-bomb the shit out of Yemen. I would imagine, like most people are probably.
There's like a very small contingent of people who are like, we should just bomb everything. But like, that's not.
I mean, I'm kind of on board with that. Let's just fucking bomb all of us and just
end this.
Yeah, let's just.
I read something and they were like, we can't have a World War III because the minute somebody starts losing, they're just gonna be like, all right, nuke. Blow everything up, bro.
Dude, I would join the army.
You'd get killed in 2 seconds.
I'm saying if we had World War III, I'd be in.
Oh,
if we had World War III, you wouldn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the world where the draft comes back, which never technically went away.
I lied. I would go to jail. I would go to jail to avoid going to war. I would die
but
quickly.
Realistically, I think technology is way too advanced to go into a war.
But most people have nukes, right? We could all get laid out at any moment.
Yeah. I think pretty much everybody has nukes.
That's kind of scary a little bit, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little bit when you think about it.
Let's not think about it. Anyway, Sean Penn's an asshole. Yeah. Next, how do we lighten this up? Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick dating?
Oh my God. What the fuck? When I saw that, I was like, holy shit.
Well, what's the thing that I read? Is there an update to that? Because I read that last night and it was just someone speculating that they were more so than either one of them being public about it. Like the article I read was like, oh, this person who knows like them says they met here and like they didn't start immediately dating because I think both of them were in relationships, but neither one of them is likely to tell it since they're both very private people. And it's like, all right, so basically this is just someone's fanfic of like, oh, I wish these two were dating. They might be, but neither one of them has said it.
As of yesterday, they're quietly dating. They haven't made it known. She's really happy. They met on the set of SNL, and then
she's out of his league. I'm sorry.
Anna Kendrick?
Yeah.
I don't know, Jess.
I'm not saying she's drop dead gorgeous, but like Bill Hader.
Oh, Anna
Well, which picture of Bill Hader are you looking at? Because
any of them.
he's gotten a lot better looking as he's hired, like as he's
That's
gotten
true.
money and gotten like an actual haircut. His early SNL, he looks terrible. Like he's just got bad hair. And it's very
think-
clearly just like,
I
oh,
mean,
this
he
guy.
still has bad hair.
Well,
I don't know.
on the TV show, it looks like he's got either he's got pluggage or just money and his hair's grown in.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like he doesn't
looking
seem
good, looking dude. Good. He's a good looking dude on.
on Barry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't be a hater.
You know, oh, I see what you're saying. I was looking at old pictures.
Yeah, that's why I was
the
asking.
old,
like,
the old
yeah.
pictures are the Bill Hader I know.
Yeah, well, that's like SNL Bill Hader, but like post SNL Bill Hader, like
Oh yeah, he's not. He's
yeah.
actually not too bad. I ate
Yeah.
my words.
I also don't find her. I don't find her to be that attractive. I wouldn't break my neck if she walked past me.
I mean, I've always just had like a Anna Kendrick crush. So
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's why I say because I said it because I don't think with her. It's not really looks. Like she's a badass. Like she's a kick ass. Like I love her.
But also, like, I love Bill Hader too. He's like,
I do
of
love
all the
Bill
people
Hader,
that have
yeah.
come out of Saturday Night Live recently, he's probably my favorite. But
I don't think anyone's coming out of this.
Yeah, and I don't
this
think Bill
version of
Hader. Yeah,
SNL.
yeah. Bill
oh no,
Hader's
don't you
cracking.
can't say that. Don't talk shit about my girl Sarah
Sarah.
Squirm, aka Sarah Sherman, new
Sarah.
cast member.
You knew
I
her
remember her
prior
last-
to?
Yeah, we did an interview with her on the other more successful podcast. That one's she's tagged under her stage name, which was Sarah Squirm, which
Oh,
she
that's
might
cool.
not. Yeah,
Oh, Mike had her on the pod.
Yeah.
That's
they
pretty
know
cool.
they know each other. Yeah,
Oh, that's sick.
they both started out came up in Chicago.
I mean, that's the one. That's what's cool. You know what? I don't know. It's very odd because it's like I feel like I know most of the comedians in New York, and then they announce like the new cast members, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people?
Well, they're from everywhere. Yeah, I was like, she was at the
that's
time of
true.
our interview, she was in Los Angeles. So
That's true. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I'm just assuming like most comedians are like coming out of New York and moving
well, it's
up.
like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles are like
Yeah.
the big scenes, I think. And like every city has a scene, but I think those are like the ones that are like have known scenes.
Okay,
Right.
so she's officially my new favorite comedian just from this headline from the Chicago Sun. It was like Sarah Sherman, weird comic from Chicago, joins SNL.
No, I love her. She is a very strange comic. Like if you guys ever feel like listening to the other podcasts, her episode's the one I most recommend because it is insane. They spend like the first 30 minutes of the interview. She's just asking Mike about different cuts of like meat and how they're made, like deli meats and stuff. Like she's just like, how do you make mortadella? And then he's like, oh, but this is like
Mike's like, I have questions for you. What are we talking about?
well, like no, he goes along with it. Because like I said, they know each other. Like
Right.
it's not like they were
What-
both.
What
Yeah,
could
they
he
were
possibly
both,
ask her when they know each other?
Well, no, they end up going into it's a great interview. I think it's my favorite out of all of them. But yeah, just listen to my other podcast I produce, Work Sucks, I Know.
Okay, shout out to Work
For
Sucks.
every-
I know.
Yeah,
Shout
Eric's
out.
helped us out before. Jess will probably in the future if we ever do video.
Totally will.
Yeah,
Have you guys reached out to Raj yet? I should probably text him.
you should probably text me his information so I can do that.
My bad. Sorry, I haven't done that. Anyway, fuck Joss Whedon. Congratulations to Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick.
And I guess
And
Sarah.
shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to
my
Sarah
new
Squirm.
favorite comedian.
New favorite comedian. What else we got? We got a couple. A lot of it is about Robert Pattinson. So maybe we kind of. So
Why is how much of it is about? Why is it about Robert Pattinson?
Because he's going to be in the Parasite director's film.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
There's that, and there's they just let out the time for the new Batman movie. It's going to be almost 3 hours. It's the longest. I think it's the longest comic book movie of all time.
No, Endgame was over 3 hours, I thought.
This is 2 hours and 55 minutes. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a DC. Maybe
Maybe it's the longest,
DC.
or maybe it's the longest like solo installment.
Possibly.
Because I'm going to look up
somebody
Endgame
fact check me
runtime.
on that one.
Did you know that Robert Pattinson's Batman is based off of Kurt Cobain? Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Also, Avengers Endgame has a runtime of 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Damn. Well, maybe. No, I don't know.
Who the fuck sits in the movie theater for that long? That movie banged.
But also, Titanic is roughly that long.
3 hours.
People did that. Yeah.
That's true.
That's pretty.
Like,
I mean,
Titanic had to be split into 2 VHSs.
So the director Matt Reeves, he said that this version of this Batman movie he considered it almost a horror movie.
Yeah, I read that. I mean, they've been kind of leaning into it's more of a suspense. There's action in it, but it's not like they're trying a new thing, which I like.
Yeah,
I think Batman is one of those superheroes that you could do something like super detective-y and suspensey.
Well, yeah, Matt
That's
Reeves
what they're going
Batman. This guy, he's the one who said that this movie he's based off of Kurt Cobain. Because instead of making him like a billionaire, he's gonna make him like a depressed person with a bunch of issues.
Yeah,
I think that is what Batman is anyway. Just maybe not as he's maybe not depressed, but he's still just a person with a bunch of fucking issues.
Yeah.
I don't know how I still don't know how I feel about his casting. I mean, obviously he's great. He's a great actor, or whatever. I just don't know.
Well, I think I trust it specifically because it seems like in superhero movies and in Batman in particular, odd castings like this end up working really fucking well.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
then the ones where you
liked-
think like they fucking nailed that off the jump, a lot of people are like, they don't end up loving it because
people hated the Ben Affleck announcement, but everyone like out of all the shitty movies, everyone loved his version of Batman. I didn't really
like it
necessarily agree with that, but
I thought it was fine. I didn't have like a strong feeling about that, but I'm really hearkening back to a lot of people were similarly apprehensive to Heath Ledger when he was announced as the Joker.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because Heath Ledger, not from like the same shit, but he was like a pretty boy. Like they were just
it was
like
also post post Brokeback Mountain. So it was like, what the fuck are they gonna do with this guy in this movie? That makes no sense.
You know what's funny? I don't like Superman movies, but Batman's. I love the Batmans. I think the Batman's bang.
Well, a lot of the times, like there's only the George Clooney Batman movies are like goofy and bad.
Yeah.
But like also they're entertaining still. They're entertaining and very like in not the ways they want to be, but I'll still like if someone's like, do you want to watch that shit with George Clooney and Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'm like, yeah.
But it's really
that it's corny as shit and I'll love it.
A lot of it is to do with like the villains being a major part of that. Like George Clooney is terrible, but who was George Clooney going against? He was going against Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze and what's her name is Poison Ivy.
Someone big played Poison Ivy.
Kill Bill.
Uma Thurman.
There you go.
Yeah.
But then I mean the casting on that hypothetically works really well. And then in the other one, or is that Val Kilmer where it's
Val Kilmer was Two-Face and the Riddler.
Yeah, okay, so that was Val Kilmer. So yeah, but still, like but a lot of the times they do more one-off stories, I think, with Batman than, or maybe they used to do that with superhero movies in general.
Right.
Like,
I think that's what they're aiming for now, and that's kind of it's a good change from what we get from Marvel.
I have the new theme song.
You get
nice.
You get 5 different villains or 5 different, like Spider-Man's a good example, which I think they're taking note of this for the next Spider-Man trilogy, which is we're going to kind of have a solo situation where it's just him versus the big villain. We're not going to have Iron Man come in. We're not going to have Doctor Strange come in. We're not going to have, fucking Captain Marvel pop in from the sky. It's just going to be you versus this villain, like a Toby situation.
I was going to say that's how Toby's were. That's why I liked it. I like superhero movies when they're not overly focused on the superhero aspect of the movie.
I think that's where they're headed. They got rid of, well, I don't want to spoil it, Jess, but.
Well, but
don't, because I am going to watch that one.
Yeah, but I think isn't that what we said during our Snyder Cut episode that DC should do. One of the ideas was DC should stop trying to do a universe and just be like, let's tell the good stories and cast who's appropriate, as opposed to being like, we got to get one actor who's going to play this guy for the next decade. Just be like, no, fuck it. Robert Pattinson's this story, and then the other story is this person.
I think they're gonna do both. They realize that they fucked up, but they're still making money off of it. So they're just like, whatever. So they're going to continue to Justice League and then pretend that Robert Pattinson's doesn't exist. And then Robert Pattinson is all going to do the same in response to, they're also going to pretend that it doesn't exist. But I did hear.
That's essentially how the comic work. Like you have like 5 different versions of Batman running. Right. And like all the big, comic book characters running at any given time. Mm-hmm. So it's just the opposite. They're doing a more multiverse idea, but they're doing it separate, like a different way than Marvel is, by being like, let's create a multiverse conflict. They're just like, no, let's create a multiverse cinema platform.
I mean, and they could do the same. I don't know. I wouldn't want them to do the same thing as far as DC goes, because it's like, it would just be too much of a mess. So hopefully it just doesn't do that. But, and to continue the Batman conversation, I've heard nothing but good reviews for the movie.
The composer is the guy who did Spider-Man No Way Home and Jojo Rabbit,
which is great.
You hear that?
What was his name?
Michael Giacchino.
Oh, okay.
Do you hear the music?
Kinda, but not really.
This is not the way to do that. You can share audio on this. Don't just play it out of your speakers. And
come on,
can
Jess,
you actually? Wait, can you actually?
Well, you
it's a YouTube video.
You could share your screen.
Share screen and then also share audio.
She's a mess.
Hold on. Eric, are you calling me a mess?
Is this how are we going to really like do this to get claimed at the 60-minute mark of our podcast?
I don't want to get claimed. I don't want to have to fight you because what's going to happen is
claimed either.
We're going to finish everything on time, and then I'm going to have to send it in, and they're going to be like, oh, "No, we can't publish this because we have this fucking song in there."
Yeah, no, I don't want to get claimed.
But yeah, we're at exactly an hour right now, so let's do our last topic.
Okay, just to wrap up the Batman thing. Apparently, the very end of the movie is going to blow everyone's mind. There's like a huge twist. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means
Batman dies.
That'd be sick, bro. What a plot twist that would be.
Hey, that would be
it's
cool.
a one-off, so it wouldn't. I don't think that.
Is that a one-off? They didn't sign up for like a trilogy deal?
I haven't heard that. I've only ever heard that it was a one-off, but I guess I haven't like researched it that in depth. So,
I mean, I think in this instance, it'd be kind of strange if they did a one-off, at least for Batman.
Or maybe I feel like he's too young. Never mind.
I think I know what you were going to say, but I'll say it anyway, because I'm assuming you were going to say it. It's basically what I said months ago, what I thought they would do is like, they end the movie. I didn't think they would do with this one. I thought maybe they would do with 2 or 3 or whatever. They end the movie with Joaquin's Joker and hint at, him being in the sequel. And they do that. And like that, honestly, that would be the only thing that could blow my mind by watching a Batman movie.
Would it really blow your mind? If
no,
it was a
because
thing
you
that
know.
you've anticipated, mind-blowingly highly anticipated speculation. Like a lot of people have thought that. I was gonna say,
the thing is, he is based off Kurt Cobain, right? And if it is a one-off, then I'm gonna go with Batman dies at the end.
Batman kills himself.
No, but Batman dies at the end. I'm going with
Batman gets killed by Courtney Love. He does everything correctly, and then she just comes in, blasts his head off, and is like, "Oh, he was depressed and on drugs and killed himself." And everyone's like, "Okay."
So, we don't have to go over this, but one of the things I put down was Willem Dafoe says he fantasizes about playing the Joker imposter opposite Joaquin.
I saw that too. I did see that.
I mean,
Willem Dafoe would make a good Joker.
Yeah, I think if they like did it just
an older one, especially.
Yeah,
wasn't he a Batman villain?
No.
Only
he was a
Spider-Man villain. Yeah. There you go. I was like, I know he played a villain.
He was the Glizzy Gobbler.
Mm-hmm. And he was Franco's dad.
Yeah.
I can go for a hot dog right now.
Don't. We're recording a podcast right now.
Yeah, for real.
Lizzie Gobbler, though.
Yeah. But we should end the podcast before you go for a hot dog.
All right. Do we talk about Hillary Duff scrapping the Lizzie McGuire idea? And first of all, what is the idea that was scrapped? That's what I would love to know.
Oh, this is old news though.
She just mentioned it like 5 days ago.
She's allowed to talk about her own stuff, but I think I remember this a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was just an adult. It was a 30-year-old. Her fiance cheated on her, so she was going to move back to her parents' house, and Disney was like, too raunchy. That's what the whole thing was, huh?
Well, but she's the one who said no, so she could do How I Met Your Father. That was, I think, what we talked about. She bailed on this to do that.
I'm pretty sure Disney didn't want to do the storyline, and that's why it didn't work out.
I mean, for as far as her though, I could have sworn that she bailed on it because she got offered How I Met Your Father, and she was like, "All right, fuck it."
I actually,
I could be wrong, but I haven't heard great things about How I Met Your Father.
I haven't heard anything about it.
There you go.
I love Hillary Duff though. Don't talk shit about my queen.
She got a nice butt. What?
I know Clayton Schneider, who plays Ethan in
Too much? Sorry, Jake.
McGuire. You can say nice things about her.
She got a nice butt.
That's nice.
That's going to be the title of this clip. Hillary Duff has a nice butt.
It could be the title of the episode.
No, don't disrespect her like that on the title of the episode. That's my queen.
I was not Hillary Duff has. I was going to say the title of the episode is she got episode 20. She got a nice butt,
but doesn't say Hillary Duff. Just says she got a nice butt.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're moving away from titles that work for us. And just more into titles we think are funny.
Oh no, I stopped doing that after episode 2. Now I just type. What was the last one? Throast? That didn't help us.
That could have helped. People might
have. It gave us an extra 10 views than normal. Anyway,
I gotta go back to misnumbering the episode titles on purpose.
Dude, that gave me so much anxiety. But I also
episode 1 was supposed to be called episode 2, I think, and then we changed it to the Tobey Maguire cut.
No, not Tobey Maguire. Topher Grace.
Topher Grace cut.
That was good.
No, dude. Yeah, I just found
Good
it.
times.
No, it was canceled because of Disney Plus. Disney Plus, like they couldn't agree on the storyline because they were trying to take that storyline away. So she was like, no.
That's fine.
I think that's rather silly.
I think you're rather silly.
I was just gonna say that.
Because Doctor Strange is supposed to be like PG-13 and shit like that.
Yeah, but Lizzie McGuire's not. Lizzie McGuire, they're trying to make it. They're basically what Disney's trying to do is a Girl Meets World situation. Like it's still a kid
Girl
show.
Meets World was terrible.
And that's the point.
Spit in my face with that.
You should have continued that as an adult show because they're adults. You can't make a kid show while they're adults.
They kind of did their show as adults towards
but it wasn't targeted to the people who watched Boy Meets World. It was targeted to a new audience because you're following their children and their secondary characters. So you're not hitting the target. Saved by the Bell did the same shit.
I loved when they got older in Boy Meets World. Those were so good.
Oh no, I was talking about
Girl Meets World.
Yeah, they're in it. They're kids.
I'm saying I see what you're saying though.
I love the College of Boy Meets World too.
It just didn't fit the vibe of the show. Like I don't understand.
No, whatever. Disney could have fit it for the vibe of the show. You could have made it about their family life, like a Family Matters or some shit like that, as opposed to Girl Meets World being about his daughter, like Corey and Topega's daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they basically didn't hit the target audience. They went for a new audience. Which then was the point?
About old people.
What's the point of a reboot then? Because then it's not the fun same.
Let me touch something.
What?
That was
his Corey impression.
Because they, like it's kind of a kid show for most of it, and then as they get older, you realize they've been a couple for like 10 years, and they're just every now and then they'll make like a sexual joke.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an episode, I guess, where Corey is he's kind of beating around the bush, and he just gets angry and he goes, "Let me touch something." And Topanga like tongue kisses him or something like that. And then that's how they end the episode.
Okay. I didn't grow up with Disney Channel, so.
Oh, dude, Lizzie McGuire was my favorite show. That's why I feel so passionately about it.
I'm aware of all the Disney Channel shows that were popular when I was a kid because other people would talk about them, but we didn't have Disney channels before it was like available on basic cable packages.
Yeah. Is it on basic cable packages now?
Well, because basic cable, like your starter level cable now is like literally every other channel in the world. So.
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah. Like with HD and stuff, they're just like, oh yeah, just throw it all on there. And
I don't have cable.
Especially now they're trying to compete with streaming. So they're like, throw it all, do everything.
Cable?
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I don't have cable, because I just have the streaming service. Like I don't watch TV, I watch what I watch, and all the new shows now are streaming.
You could pay $10 to watch Stars or whatever on their streaming channel, or $10 to watch HBO on their.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't have cable, because it's like, what's the point of it? Just pay for all my streaming services that equals my cable bill.
We should wrap this up.
No, we're still talking about Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah,
we're at an hour 10.
All right, let's just last one, and then we're leaving. They're making I know you guys didn't watch Money Heist, right?
I didn't.
Not the new one, no.
Anyway, they're making a Korean version of Money Heist, and
I'll watch that one.
I'm excited.
That one's gonna be good.
I'm so excited. They released a trailer for it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna. From the stills that I saw, it looks so good, and I guess the question is it like when American version comes out, everyone's very nervous about it. Is there any difference now? Like, what's the difference between a Korean version of a show that's already popular than an American version of a show that's already popular?
Well, Korea has just been killing it recently. South Korea is like, just the content that's coming out of there is fucking great. Kind of.
They get a pass. Basically.
Also, America ruins things. Korea,
there's
will
like
not.
too many. A lot of it is less about like, they're remaking something, and more about like a terrible history of remaking shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they don't. There's only a handful of times that the United States has like made something good out of like already existing content.
One right now.
I don't know. That's why I said it's only a handful.
Yeah,
I can't give you.
I'm
an
sure
example.
somebody can. Somebody in the comments is going to be like, "Well, actually."
Oh, they're going to say The Office.
But that's not
better.
No. The American Office is actually better, and it's like the one thing that I agree with. And Shameless. I think Shameless is better American version than UK.
I guess that might be subjective to people's humor, because we just have different.
But I love British humor. I watch British and Australian TV probably more than I watch American TV.
Right?
Yeah, it is. But those are like the only examples I can think of. And
but I thought we were talking Asian. Like
no, I think we were talking remaking shit in general, because we do it for a lot of things. But I don't think we have to be specific to that. But yeah, like I said, I think like the content that I've seen coming out of like South Korea for international audiences, because there's a ton of shit that obviously is like only airing, like it's airing very specifically for Korean audiences, but like the shit that does go with the intent to be international, they've been killing it. So
yeah, I mean, they
get the benefit of the doubt on that. So right now,
and I love like horror movies. So all the movies that I think of remakes are either like Japanese, Korean, and like all those. They make the scariest movies, and they're always good. America will remake it. It's horrible.
You saw Train to Busan?
Maybe you should stop yawning first.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
No.
That's a Korean horror movie.
Train to Busan?
Train to Busan.
Oh, yes, I have.
I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I heard both of them are really good.
I think weren't they making an American version of that as well?
I'm sure they will.
Probably.
I'm sure it'll be absolutely terrible.
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
But yeah, I think funding for these Korean shows is probably a lot more as well now, because after what you call it, the Netflix show,
Squid Game.
Yeah,
after Squid Game, I mean, and other films
but it's been for a while. Like one of the shows I really like on Netflix as well, I think there's there's at least 2. There might be 3 seasons out, but fucking Kingdom is great. It's like the only zombie thing that I really still look at fondly at this
TV
point.
show?
Yeah, TV show on. It's a Korean TV show on Netflix, but also like everything else that gets recorded in a language other than English, you have to watch it in there's language with the subtitles because the voice acting is awful when it gets dubbed over.
Yeah, you have to watch subs.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's like that with pretty much almost anything. Squid Games was good though.
Yeah. Anything like
You watch Squid Games with the subs on?
I watched both.
I watched it with the subs.
I watched
Really?
both. Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, you watched the non-English version?
Yeah, I watched the
Mhm.
actors speaking in their actual voices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also,
I was-
Train to Busan is being remade. I knew I saw that. It's called Last Train to New York.
I'm good.
I'm chilling too. I'm fine.
What they should do is instead of that, just take out the train. Well, they could take all of it. Just make it the latest version of Escape from New York, and then I'll be all right.
Same actor, same.
Same everything.
Fucking yeah. Make him Escape from New York again.
I'm so tired of everything being New York.
Well, we're an incredibly densely populated area.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here.
We should have wrapped it up.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But we got through a lot though. Sean
Yeah.
Penn, complete asshole. We didn't talk about the guy passing away from Moon Knight.
Let's just do right
RIP.
at the end of the pod. What we should do is just talk about the things that we didn't get to because of time, because that's not going to stretch our time further pointlessly.
Are you being sarcastic, Jake? Is that what's
Yeah,
happening?
Yeah.
100%.
Just fucking wrap us up, Eric.
All right. Thanks
And
for
don't
coming.
scream into your microphone.
I'm sorry. My finger literally just got caught in the
Like you pulled it to your face.
I pulled
and
it
then
to
got
myself,
louder.
and then my finger got caught in this thing as I pulled it down. Anyway, thank you for thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next Monday. Right? Monday? Look at everyone so excited. Look at Jake in his
I
fucking
was gonna say, are you
dungeon.
talking to the audience?
I was just talking.
I thought you were talking to the audience.
The audience can't respond to me, Jake.
Yeah, that's why I was confused too.
They can.
They can. And if you want, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and all of our audio platforms online now. Leave a comment, a like, and share below.
Comment for
Jesus
engagement.
Christ.
You don't like that one, Jake? You didn't like that?
It's funny enough. All right.
We'll see you guys next week. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys want to talk about next week. If you didn't like what we talked about this week, and if you didn't like it, go fuck yourself. Bye-bye.